Alright, I'm live now. I'm late, but I'm here. I'm here now. That's all that matters. Even though I'm late, I am here. Okay. Oh. Alright, I almost forgot to kill these guys. Let me just delete these. Now let me just delete these extra things from the island. These ones, I don't really care too much about the materials, though. Because this is the one I have, like, a bunch of. Alright. And then this one over here. Right, what do I have? Okay, that's my vitality. Okay, I have plenty of time to spend it. I think I'm gonna try and see if I can get that other raid I didn't do yet. Right, let's get this one done first. Oh, wait. Okay, let's see. Can we get matched up, please? Can I get matched up? I still haven't done the frig raid thing yet. So I need that. Come on. Come on. Come on. Load, load, load. Load, load, load. Come on, load. Oh, there's just some other animals I could just kill that I don't really care enough about the materials, so I just ignore them mostly. But I might as well kill them when I see them. Because I'm just waiting for the queue. So I can do the other raid I didn't do this week. And then I have to do Bygone after. As well as my dailies. Because I didn't do either of them yet. So that's what's on the plan today. Come on. Anyone for the raid. Need people for the raid. Come on. Come on. Come on. Load, load, load. Come on. Oh. Over there. Let's get rid of these ones. Come on. Kill that one. Alright. Come on. Load, load, load. Come on. Is there seriously no one doing the raid thing? Can I exit while I'm still queued? Yeah, okay, I can exit while I'm still queued, so I can still just do my dailies while I wait for it. Wait for a group. Okay. That's fine. I'll do that. Right. I'll just do the dailies while I wait for a group. Wait, what's going on here? Okay. Oh, never mind. Nothing there. Okay. Never mind. Just like trying to look at something, there's nothing there. Okay. Let's just get the dailies done. My dailies first are all on here. Alright, so first one is the Fifi's. Fifi Young Brothers or whatever. Oh. Yeah, of course, it's telling me to go back there. Alright, let's go here. Here, I'm just gonna raise the volume a little bit. There we go. There we go. Make sure I fixed it so I'm in the right category, right? Let me double check. Okay, yeah, I am in the right category. Just making sure, because sometimes Twitch just messes up and puts me in the wrong category. Well, that's fine. Up we go. One sec. Okay, let's go kill him. Alright. Zealot Commander. The max level's still the same. They didn't raise it. Hi, Louise. Welcome. Oh yeah, I was like talking to some more people and I got some more information on Ruby. There won't be a fire team when Ruby arrives unless you also have an A6 Cobalt. Otherwise, it'll just be putting Ruby in a team. Cause there's some weird stuff with some calcs, and part of it is also just the current fire stuff is just pretty awful. Like the current options for fire are just pretty bad. Like it's just pretty funny. Like like if you don't have like if you don't have what's it called? Yeah, it's still 70. Yeah, I don't think the level cap will raise until 2.0 at this point. But like yeah, the fire team with Ruby is just gonna be something because it's not a fire team. It's just Ruby in a team. Like if you don't have A6 Cobalt, A6 Nemesis is stronger than A5 or below Cobalt for Ruby. Even though Nemesis does 0 fire damage, just because the off-field damage from the electrodes is just high. And then you have the thing as well, like, you'd be using your other 2 weapons as stat sticks. So it's like, use better stat sticks. The problem is, the current fire weapons as well, they're bad stat sticks. So like, you're basically gonna want some combination of A1 Claudia or A1 Tsubasa or Nemesis with Ruby. If you don't have A6, yeah, wasting experience. Oh yeah, we're definitely wasting experience. You see the commander I have to kill? Oh yep. Alright, where's the other daily? And why didn't I get my Q to pop? Because I still need to do that other raid this week. But yeah, like things are going to be pretty weird when Ruby arrives. Like it's going to be kind of weird. Because just the fire options suck. The current fire options just kind of suck. So like your best bet is just buffing as much as you can on buffing Ruby as much as you can and not even using your other two weapons unless they buff Ruby. Unless like that's just the weird thing. Like it's just weird. Mm-hmm. Done. Oh, they're doing the second raid. Nice. Just found my group there. There we go. Easy. This. Frig. Okay, yeah. There we go. We got the good raid. The one I haven't done yet this week. We just needed one more and I found the group. Easy. Now we can just kill it and then I can waste my time on Bygone after my dailies. Mm-hmm. Let me just catch up. Alright, let's get the shit out of Frig. Easy. Alright, let's go kill Valk. Those guys need to stop. God damn it, those guys kept doing damage. Well, that's unfortunate because its HP is gonna reset. God damn it. When she starts flying, she just wastes so much time. Yeah, freaking flying now. But I don't really care about wasting experience because it's so easy to get experience anyways. God damn it. God damn it. I want to double check on Frig. Okay, it should be fine. Alright, come on. Where'd she go? I'm just staying here. Oh, damn it, they better knock it out now. Because I don't want this thing to reset. There we go. God damn it. There we go. Oh. At least that settles that. Mm-hmm. Right. Come on. Load. Load, load, load. Mid-level, what the hell is this? I'm just gonna leave the party. I don't need to do the other raids. I only needed to do that one. I only needed that one. So I don't need the other one, because I already did those off stream. After I do all the dailies, gonna be joint top 8 spam as well. Yes, that one went in. Easy. Interesting. Oh, easy. Double. They both went in. Too bad I'd only get one of them. They both went in. Nice. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. Did I claim the daily thing here? Yeah, I did. I did that off stream. Okay, that's good. Mm-hmm. Where's my other daily? I have 2 more bounties. Shroom guard. Oh, it's back there. Mm-hmm. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, dun. Alrighty. Up we go. Alright. Let's just kill these guys. Easy. 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 Alright. Let's go do the other stuff. Let's go get my food. Actually, wait. I have to kill some wolves. Alright, let's go kill the 2 bitches. And it's balanced training. Okay. I'll probably just go from here. And see if I can find the bitches to kill. Mm-hmm. Alrighty then. Alright, let's head on over there. Come on. He just is quite annoying. Yeah, I don't know if you heard it. I'll just wait for more people to show up. But there won't be a fire team when Ruby comes. It'll just be a Ruby team that happens to have fire in it. Like, as weird as it sounds. Assuming you have A6 Cobalt as well. Like, it's as weird as it sounds. Like, as weird as it sounds. Like, the fire team won't really exist. It'll just be Ruby. Uh-huh. Yeah, that as well. But, like, what's funny is because the fire weapons at the moment are just really scuffed. Like, they're really scuffed and their overall power is just super low. Like, for their output. Like, the strongest DPS weapon out of the fire weapons right now is 0. But even that is just pretty shit. Right? Thanks for the follow, Bid Bounty. Thanks for the follow. Alright, let's see if I can find the wolves I need to kill. I need to kill 2 wolves, and I'm gonna do Bygone and some joint ops after. Where are the wolves? Like, it is just funny. Come on, where are those wolves? Wolves, wolves, wolves. Where are they? I want to find my wolves. Where are the wolves? Oh yeah, I'm gonna pull for A0 Ruby just for a copy in the collection. I don't think I'm gonna go further though. I'm glad you like my character. Right? I even when I originally made the character, I tried to get something a bit similar to my own model. But yeah, let me just see if I can find the original outfit I chose when I was making the thing. Because when I originally made my thing, I was like using this one. Kind of similar, not quite, but I tried to make it look like this little battlesuit thing. Where are the wolves? I'll go to the other spot. Maybe we can find them there. Alright, well, we'll see. But yeah, like, I'm just using this fantasy outfit. Yeah, the color palette. Yeah, I really like just mixing the red and the blue like this. I think it looks pretty neat, yeah. Yeah, the jacket, I mean, I can, but I have this nice little outfit here. I shouldn't, like, make a new I need to make a new outfit for my model. Just so I can have it match a bit better. Instead of using this one when I'm playing this. Alright, there's the other wolf. And then we have the other balance stage to do. I gotta do the other balance stage. I'll do it on Cetus Island. Might as well do the balance training with the other machine. The CN outfits? I mean, a lot of them are pretty cool, right? A lot of them are pretty cool. I want to get the... Like, there's the alternate skin for Cobalt looks really nice that they had. The Nemesis outfit also is pretty cool. Let's see what else. I think there was a couple others as well. I didn't really look into them. But... I would like to have them when they eventually become available. So far I have, like, all the other ones that were, like, on the thing. I have the swimsuit. I have the fantasy outfit. I have the fantasy outfit here, but I also have the swimsuit. Didn't really use the swimsuit, though. But I definitely changed the color palette on the fantasy outfit. As you can see. I'm probably gonna try and get all of them. The racing one is kind of interesting how, like, every time you mount up, you get a little helmet. So that was kind of cute what they did with that one on CN. They give you a little helmet when you use that one. But what I'm really looking forward to is getting that race car. I want to get that race car mount from CN. That race car is just amazing. You know, just a rocket ship to the moon with the race car. Find a spot to blast off from. That is something I want to do. That is something I want to do. Alright, let's grab this one. And we got one more. Alright. Yeah, the racing outfit together with the race car. No, it's not just the racing outfit with the race car. The race car itself is just the best thing. Right, you've seen the, have you seen the gate video? Where he showed like the race car moon thing? Let me see if I can find it. Let me see if I can find it. One sec. I'll load it up if I can find it. Because it is pretty funny. Oh, there's a simulacrum showcase as well. So we can look at that video as well, but race car TOF. Let me just find the video first. Because it's pretty funny. Nope, that's not it. Let me find the race car. Where's that one that he did with the race car? I'm trying to find it. Because it was a pretty funny video. I think I should just look on his clips channel. That's the schedule. I have to make one. I haven't really been posting my schedule for the past month. I've just been like going live when I had free time because I've been busy. But like usually like around late at night, like every day. Ideally, I try to be live at 9:30 p.m. Eastern. But over the past couple weeks, I've been going live at around 11. It is, but it isn't at the same time. It's more like the start time is random, but I try to go live every day. Like every day I try. It's just that most of the time it ends up being a bit random. Like on the actual start time. But like around this time I should be live like every day. So like I play other games once in a while as well. I'm just trying to find the video I was gonna show you. Because this one's like with the race car. I don't know if you've seen it, but like it's pretty funny. I'm just trying to find the exact video with the race car. Oh, here. I found the video. Alright, let me just pull up the video so you can see it. Alright, here's the video. This was on Gates' Clips channel.
No.
But like, this is what the race car is for. This is
nitrous. Go?
Right? This is what you use the race car for.
We actually blasted off.
We're blasting off to the moon.
Alright, blast off. Go.
Right? That's what you use the race car for. You just blast off. Like, you just want the race car to blast off.
Oh no.
Right? You just want to blast off with the race car.
The master of bug abuse.
I'm trying to find the one.
2.5. Alright. Right?
Wait.
Boost. Last one.
I guess? But it's pretty funny.
Different.
I'm trying to find the one where he... Oh yeah, here's the other thing. See the boss?
Wait, where'd she go? That didn't work?
Wait. Wait, look.
Let's go.
He's gonna eat the boss. The boss gets eaten. The boss gets eaten. And dies. The boss gets eaten and dies. That's what the race car is for. The race car is for that. Right? He lets you blast off to the moon. And it lets you get eaten. Oh, there's a new video here. Alright, let's go see the Ruby video here. Right, because that's the new weapon coming. Dollies. At Weapon Spark.
I want to help Ling more. So let's deal with those guys.
Okay. Alright. Spark attack. Yeah, I will be pulling for one copy of Ruby at least. In English, he sounds bratty, yeah. Dolly. Alright, hi Spyrex.
Let's go and get Ruby in Tower of Fantasy.
You know, here's the funny thing though. You know what's funny? I was speaking again with the people on on Maggie's server. Right, we were talking about this stuff, and you really do need A6 Cobalt for her to be worth using with Ruby. You really do. You know why? So like, there won't be a fire team with Ruby. It'll just be a Ruby team that happens to have a fire in it, or just putting Ruby in another team. Because the problem is the current fire options, because they don't do anything else, and like they all kind of need something on the field or whatever, but they don't really do enough. So like you're just gonna end up playing Ruby, only Ruby. You don't even want to switch off of Ruby with the other fires, really. Yeah. There is a Nekatama moment. Okay. Well, we'll find out when Ruby gets released, right? But like, it's just really weird, like how the fire options work, because like Kuma requires on field to use. Zero barely does anything. King's damage is terrible. His shatter is okay. Like the only thing he has is his discharge and like this little burn, but the conditions are too specific, and it just gets outdone by Nemesis's passive damage. Like the entirety of King's kit gets outdone by one electrode on them. But if you have A6, you can have two of them. So it's just gonna be really weird, where you're gonna either want to like be buffing, you're gonna be basically just putting Ruby. It's just gonna be like this. Let me just go to my weapons. This'll be Ruby's team setup. We'll pretend this is Ruby. You know, let's pretend Zero is Ruby. That's Ruby. You're gonna want either 1-star Claudia or higher. Right, you're gonna put Claudia there, or you put 1-star Tsubasa or higher for the buff. And then you just put like whatever else is your stat stick. Or Nemesis if you have Nemesis. The reason why Nemesis is just she just has very high off-field damage. Like A6 Nemesis does more, like will end up out damaging A5 or lower Cobalt for Ruby. Like not even like you won't even want to use like Cobalt will work, right? At A6. Because the funny thing is, yeah, you just ignore resonance for Ruby. You just don't care. Pretend resonance doesn't exist. Because the amount you get is so little that unless you have A6 Cobalt, there won't be a fire team with Ruby. You're just gonna be putting Ruby in a team. Instead of there being a fire team, it'll just be Ruby in a team. Because the fire options are just pretty bad. Like, all of them are just pretty bad right now. Nah, not even Huma. Huma, you're not even gonna use Huma. Here's the thing, Ruby with Huma, you won't use Huma, you're just gonna play Ruby. The problem with Huma is, her discharge does no damage. Like, it doesn't really do much damage. Like, the amount of damage the discharging into Huma does is going to be about the same as just you spending the field time as Ruby. So you won't even want to do that. And then you can't switch back to Ruby for 3 seconds. So it's like, you have to deal with the animation time, and you can't switch back for 3 seconds, so you end up losing DPS to switch onto anything that won't buff Ruby. And Huma doesn't do that. Like, her skill does a tiny field of a little bit of damage, but you can't really do anything with the burn. It only lasts 5 seconds. It's not really enough. Like, that's just the weird thing. Because they don't buff Ruby and they don't have anything to interact, it's just going to be like, they're there, but the problem is, as a stat stick, attack HP resistance, attack HP resistance, attack HP resistance, right? Like, attack resistance, attack resistance, attack resistance. So they're not even good stat sticks. But then you have things like the only stat stick is like Cobalt for fire. Because you at least have attack and crit on Cobalt. So like, the amount you lose, because like, here's the thing, Ruby will always have 10% flame attack already. So when you have resonance, it just becomes 25% over 10%. So like, it's not too much you're losing out on. Like, you're not losing out on too much. It's because they just don't do anything. King does nothing outside of his discharge. But even then, like, if you want to, you can't switch back immediately. So you have that thing. Like, as soon as you switch off a weapon, you can't switch back for 3 seconds. So like, this will only matter in AoE. How many stars? You can go all the way to 6 if you want. I'd at least go for 1 star. If you can, go for 1 star. But that's the thing with Ruby, you're just gonna put her wherever. Because the fire options are just all pretty awful. Like, even as like a team, because all of them are basically on-field damage, they have no support utility, except for Cobalt, but Cobalt only gets her stuff when you get her to 6 star. You need to get her to 6 star, because Cobalt has 2 burns at 6 star. I spoke with other people and I actually got some test information, but I don't have Cobalt, so I can't show it to you. But yeah, you know how Cobalt has the burn at A3, the weak one, and it becomes better at A5? The burn you get from Barrage at A6 is not the same as this burn at A5. You can actually stack both of these burns. Both of these burns stack. This one is 60% attack over 15 seconds, while this one's permanent 60% of attack. And at A6, it's basically around a 20-second cooldown. The thing is, the amount of damage that the damage per like animation time on Cobalt's skill is pretty similar to the amount of damage that it's slightly less. This is actually slightly less with the A1 boost than the on-field DPS on average that Ruby has. Because Cobalt's is over... It's about a 4-second animation for her skill. And Ruby's doing around 400% of her attack per second as her on-field. So like, even Cobalt's skill, you're just going to be using it because it has a second burn. So basically, Cobalt only exists because of the burn for Ruby. Because the burn is just passive off-field damage. Well, yeah. But here's the thing. The best team for Ruby, unless you have A6 Cobalt, will just be putting Ruby with something else. Not even using Ruby with other fire weapons. Because they suck. Like, that's just the weird thing. They just suck. They just suck. They have issues. And because of they have, like, nothing, you just won't use Ruby with them. Right? Hi, Hugh. Like, it is just funny, but it's also pretty sad. Like, the fire SSRs, they all just suck in a weird way where, like, because they all they're basically all on field for their stuff. I mean, it'll work. Honestly, though, like, if you're gonna be playing a Samir comp with Nemesis, technically speaking, I mean, yeah, that is like a bunch of better stat sticks. So if you wanted to play Ruby, you can just do that. Especially if you have 6-star Nemesis, like for Ruby. But then you can also just play Samir at the same time. The thing is, both Samir and Ruby want to be on field. Like that's like just the weird thing. The only somewhat complete comp is just the Crow comp with whaled out Claudia matrices. But that's just its own weird thing. Because of how much you can abuse Claudia matrices on Crow. And Nemesis actually, like the electro damage on Nemesis will get boosted by 4-set Claudia. Like, it's just some weird interactions there. Right? But like with Fire, they just don't really have anything. Right? The thing is, if you were to play Volt, the best third option is Shiro. Shiro for Volt over Ruby. That's only assuming you're playing Volt. Yeah. If you want to play Ruby, you just put Ruby with whatever you have. Like, I wouldn't even bother with Fire. If you have, if you have something to buff. Like, if you have 1-star Tsubasa and 1-star... Like, 1-star Tsubasa and 1-star Claudia with Ruby is going to be an option. But to be fair, Fire main is also pain. Because there won't be any Fire mains unless you have an A6 Cobalt as well. You'll just be a Ruby main. You'll be a Ruby main, not a Fire main. So now much troll going full Crow Claudia spam this search. Yeah. That is actually like the highest DPS in the game. Assuming you have 4-set Claudia. It is stronger. I'm pretty sure Ruby's going to keep her Shatter in charge. Yeah. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Ruby's going to keep her Shatter in charge. But like the weird thing is just that like Kuma, King, and Zero suck so much, and Cobalt requires so much investment that your best option for Fire will be putting Fire in something else rather than running a Fire DPS. She won't. She won't. Yeah, that's the thing. Ruby won't do the highest DPS. Actually, you know the difference between using the difference between using A6 Cobalt versus A6 Nemesis with Ruby is actually very small. There is a difference, but it's pretty minor. But no, Ruby will not have the highest DPS in the game. Like, as weird as it sounds, from what I've gathered more from her CN numbers, not her CN, from her beta, her global beta numbers, because they adjusted it, and her animation times, it's going to be around the same as Meryl and Samir, with 4-set Samir at 1-star, or Meryl 4-set at 1-star as well. A6 Claudia, that was really considering, yeah. But you need to whale in the matrices, yeah. You do. The thing is as well, basically what you're gonna end up doing for Ruby is just buffing Ruby. You're gonna wanna buff Ruby. If you have A6 Nemesis, if you don't have A6 Cobalt, you're better off running Ruby, Cobalt, Nemesis than you are running Ruby with another Fire and then Claudia, I mean not Cobalt, no, Ruby, Claudia, Nemesis instead of Ruby, Cobalt, Nemesis, Ruby, Cobalt, Claudia. Claudia to buff Ruby for sure. But Cobalt really needs A6. Not even A5 Cobalt will be enough. Yeah. No. The reason why is this is factoring already the matrices on Ruby. It's also factoring Ruby's matrices, which is going to be Samir, any combination of Samir, Cobalt, if you have Burn, because Cobalt 2-piece is viable on Ruby, or Crow/Shiro combos. So, it's going to be a bit weird. It's going to be a bit weird, but yeah, Ruby's matrices are really good for a support weapon. You would run Ruby 4-set on Cobalt. They didn't ruin Ruby, they actually balanced her. Because the reason why this is like that is she only does 75% burn detonation. So the amount of damage you actually get from detonating burns isn't so crazy. But the thing is with Cobalt A6 is you actually have 2 burns. The A6 burn on Cobalt is separate from the A5 burn. So you actually have 2 burns at the same time on Cobalt. You quit the game yesterday. Well, it is what it is, Safin. But yeah, like, Cobalt has 2 burns at A6. So it changes things a bit for Cobalt. No, she does a little bit more. It's just that the standard SSRs have, Meryl and Samir have exclusive matrices. The thing is, you need more investment on Samir and Meryl to catch up for them to Ruby, but they can catch up. The thing is though, the weird interactions with 4-set Claudia abuse will make Crow outdamage Cobalt. 4-set Claudia abuse just makes Crow outdamage Cobalt. Like just straight up with just his discharge. Like the amount of damage per discharge you can get like per cycle, like over like, you know, over like a certain period of time with just Claudia into Crow spam is going to be higher than just buffing Ruby right now with maxed out Ruby plus Cobalt. But I don't really think it's that much of a problem. Like part of the thing is like you're not really not is it that yeah, like the thing is with Meryl, you need to have 4-set Meryl at 1 star to match like equal investment on Ruby. And same thing with Samir. Sort of. Oh, Ruby at A0. Ruby at A0 is going to be about the same. If we're talking about A6, A6 Ruby with 1-star matrices is going to be the same with as Meryl with her exclusive 4-set at 1 star, and Samir with her exclusive 4-set at 1 star. But if you're using Samir with 2-piece, Ruby will be ahead. And the same thing with Meryl with 2-piece. It's just that for some reason they decided to give Meryl and Samir a very big buff, but only if they're using their Matrix 4-set. They get a big buff, but only if they're using their Matrix 4-set. But that said, like, Ruby will just want to be using any combination of Samir, Cobalt, or Crow or Shiro mix. At A0 should be about the same. A0 she should be about the same. The difference between A0 and A6 Ruby's on field is A6 Ruby will do 60% more damage on field. Think of it this way, like the on field damage from Ruby's attacks is kind of like how Meryl A5 with her shield buffs her damage by 50%, except in the situation with Ruby it's a 60% buff. Like, they decided to set it up that way. But essentially speaking, in terms of on-field damage on average... Wait, let me just go look at the thing I was like thinking of. A0's right. A0 Ruby's DPS honestly isn't very high. It's only 160% of attack per second. A1 Ruby is 288% of attack per second, while at A6 it's 416% of attack per second. At A0, Meryl will be stronger than Ruby. Yeah, it's in chaos. You need to have at least A1 on Ruby. Otherwise, she's going to be doing less DPS than 0. Like, the A1 on Ruby is a massive DPS increase for Ruby. If you want to play Ruby as DPS, which is what you want to use her for anyways, you need at least her A1. Her A6 is a very big boost, but her A1 is required. The thing is, though, in terms of A1 versus A1 Ruby will out DPS, yeah. Here's the thing, right? Yeah, like, the thing is, base Samir does do more damage than base Ruby. Base Meryl also does more damage than base Ruby. Yeah, I know, because they reduce her multipliers by a lot. But then you get some of them back. You get some of them back with her A6 and her A1. Like, you get an extra multiplier on her on-field damage at A1 and A6. Because they really reduced her damage. Like, here's the thing, right? For free-to-plays, right? If you can get at least A1 on Ruby, she's going to do less fire damage on field than 0. She'll do more than Huma, she'll do more than King, she'll do more than Cobalt, but she'll do less than 0. So you need A1 if at least. Her on-field multipliers aren't exactly anything special. Like, the numbers look big, but the time for the animation isn't very fast. Like, it isn't that fast. So you really need the A1 to just multiply her damage. Like, you just need to get that multiplier for her damage. They basically balanced Ruby. But because of how they balanced her, she isn't going to be cheap. Like, out the gate. She's just going to be balanced. I mean, at least she'll be balanced and not like massive power creep, right? Because what happens is, yeah, the animation of the fired is cool, right? But it just is what it is. Like 0 Ruby animation, yeah. Because here's the thing. Ruby's on-field damage is increased by 80%, right? Her normal attacks, like all her normal stuff is increased by 80% if you have her A1. It becomes like 140% the increase instead, or something like that at A6. So like it's a massive boost. It's just that the problem is, without it, she doesn't really do much damage. Oh, I had the whole wrong loadout stuff here. They balanced her. They balanced her. She won't be anything crazy. But I think that's also a good thing as well, because it means that there won't be anything. Will I stream raids? Of course. If I'm doing the raids and stuff, I will stream them. Of course. When I've done them, I've done them on stream. Well, when there's a thing. Because I will be playing when Vera comes. They removed her existence. I guess. Like, her multipliers aren't anything special. Also, she's harder to play. So here's the thing, if you're not good at playing it, because the reason why she's going to be hard to play is you have to try to consume the burn from Cobalt. You're gonna watch my previous stream. I have a lot of streams, so you can find all the VODs on my YouTube channel. They're in a playlist. Yeah, enjoy them. But yeah, Ruby is going to be very balanced. I wonder what that's gonna mean for Saki when she comes. Cause like, it'll be funny Like, it'll be funny what they're gonna do there, because they're basically drastically reducing Ruby's output to keep her in line. Yeah, Meryl's probably gonna outdamage Saki at this point without Alice. Saki will require Alice to outdamage Ruby at this, not Ruby. Saki's gonna require Alice to outdamage Meryl. But then Meryl's can abuse, like, I think this is what's gonna happen in the future. We're gonna have two different ice comps in the meta. You're going to have the ice comp with Meryl DPS, and you're gonna have the ice comp where you're just skill spamming, and technically Alice is the DPS. As weird as it sounds. Or rather, the damage is you just spamming skills, and you're just resetting skill cooldowns. Because with Saki, one of her passives is every fifth ice skill use, you reset the cooldowns on all your weapons with ice skills. So you're just gonna be using Frigg, Saki, Alice. Yeah. No, the limited SSRs will still be strong if there's support. So what's gonna end up happening is, no, Nemesis will still be meta. Claudia will still be meta. Right? And then Volt's going to have a different setup as well. If you're discharge spam, you're gonna be like, yeah, there's going Crow, Nemesis, Lynn, not Crow, Nemesis, Lynn. Crow, Nemesis, Claudia will be an option, will be a meta team. I mean, that's already a meta team if you're whaling enough. Like, it is already the strongest team in the game. If you can afford 4-set Claudia. Tianglong doing less DPS than Samir will be funny. You know, this is only happening. The only reason why this is happening is because Meryl and Samir have exclusive matrices. And Cobalt and the Crow thing is only because they mega buff Claudia. Because they mega buff Claudia. Right? Claudia is just broken with her 4-set if you can spam discharges. Which you're gonna do with Crow. Because Crow has the strongest discharge in the game. But what I can foresee happening is Meryl, like, you're gonna have an ice comp with Meryl, Lynn, and Frigg. Or you'll have an ice comp with Saki, Frigg, and Alice. But even without 4-set Samir, Ruby does less. No. Yeah, Ruby does less than Samir if Ruby doesn't have A6. Ruby needs A6 to do more than Samir without Samir having her 4-set. Otherwise, Samir A1 versus Ruby A1 is about the same at 50% crit rate. If the thing is though, Samir does a lot more damage at higher crit rate. That said, Ruby has significantly higher damage from her discharge and skill. It's just that over like the period of 1 minute, it's going to average out. Because Samir has more bursty damage with the helicopter spam. Eventually with the 4-set. But if you don't have it, then Ruby will do a little bit more. But the thing is, you also need Ruby A6 to do 20-second rotations. Because the way Ruby's skill works is you apply a debuff on the target, and every 6 seconds, it will check if the target has any burns. And if the target does have burns, it will just do... It will do like the 75 if you have the 3-star, I think. Otherwise, it'll only do 45% of the damage of the burn up front. So you can have about 3 of those per rotation. Right, in the period of a minute, you can have it happen 10 times. You basically get 10 of those activations in a minute. The thing is, for the period of 1 minute, you can have full uptime on Claudia's Cobalt's A5 burn, but you can only have partial uptime on the A6 burn. If Ruby gets Shatter, how does it compare to current Shatter weapons? That one, I don't know. Because right now, Shatter weapons are kind of weird. The strongest burst Shatter right now is, like, in terms of burst Shatter, the strongest is Shiro's skill. Shiro A3. After that, it's Huma. And then after Huma, it's Meryl. Yeah. Trash damage equals trash shatter? Not quite. I don't think so. Remember, like, it's already been found out that damage is not related to shatter. Heck, Oh, you see these shatter and charge stats on these weapons? All of them? They don't mean anything. The shatter and charge stats don't mean anything. None of them mean anything. It just says proficiency. It doesn't actually show how, like, tell you how much shatter you're doing and how much charge you're doing. No, you don't actually. You don't. They're coded separately from the weapon. They're coded separately. That's how they buffed Cobalt's shatter. The reason why is they actually value the skill shatter amount and the discharge shatter amount more for some reason than they do for normals. That's why Huma's is very low, despite Huma shattering much better than Meryl. Yeah, so that's the thing. The reason, like, it says, right, like, you look on the weapons, it'll say something has higher shatter. King says 14.3 shatter. That's a lie. Like, King's shatter does not shatter more than Huma's. And I have to go ban this freaking spam thing. Okay. What the hell? Did my thing just crashed? My restream chat just froze for a sec. Okay. Well then, that's, I got rid of those things there. So when it comes to shatter, who shatters effectively? It depends on what you're trying to do. I don't know exactly how well Ruby will shatter on global, but what I can tell you is if you want the fastest shatter, that's Shiro at 3-star Shiro. After 3-star Shiro, it's Huma. After Huma, it's Meryl, and then it's King's Discharge. Yeah. It also depends on the shield of the enemy, yes. Because enemies can have elemental shields. You can tell what element this enemy's shield is by looking at the color. A purple shield means it's going to have, obviously, volt resistance on shatter. Volt weapons will shatter at half the amount. If you see an orange shield, like a glowing orangey red one, it's a fire shield. A yellow one is a physical shield, and a light blue one is an ice shield. Yeah. Yeah, there's a golden shield. Yeah, the golden shield is the physical one. Golden is physical, orange is fire. The orangey red one is fire, the golden one is physical. Isn't it? I'm pretty sure. The global is weird, you just need to whale a lot if you want a good team. That is not standard, yeah. Depends on the weakness of the enemy. Well, not always. If they resist you, you can still shatter them effectively. Oh, yeah, okay. So, the raid. I would wait for Vera release before you do the raids. Right? If it's... Yeah, because it rolled over to Monday if you're in Asia or in Europe. Do not do your raids yet. Do not even claim your weeklies until Vera comes. Don't claim these. You can claim these, but don't claim these. Right? Don't claim the weekly activity and don't do your raids. Other than that, everything else is fair game. Everything else is fair game, just don't do your raids. And don't do the weekly. Don't claim the weekly stuff. The reason being is, if you want to get the new chips for the bosses in Vera, you're gonna need to claim the weekly stuff then. And if you want to... Yeah, gold shield is called multi-shield. It says you have to use the weapons matching the target's weakness. Oh wait, no, okay, that one's different, yeah. Okay, never mind. Which one was physical then? The physical one looks almost the same as the fire one. Because, like, I don't know why the physical and the fire one look almost the same. It might just be my graphics preset. Yeah, green. Okay, green. Yeah, like, it's just hard to tell. I think it's because I'm using the brilliant mode. It looks the same. You just did the raid. Well, hopefully they do something. Because, like, I'm pretty sure it's gonna consume your entry for it. Yeah. Yeah, flame is red, yeah. If you see a red shield, don't use a fire weapon to shatter. If you see a purple one, don't use Volt to shatter. Like this one, like Fizz is fine for shattering, but if you use fire on this, you're not doing it right. Yeah, like the light blue is the easy one to tell. But yeah, it depends on the enemy's type. Okay, yeah, gold shield is just if they're weak to it. Fair enough. Alright. But yeah. Like, Ruby is just weird. She needs A1 to be on par with Samir at low crit rate Samir. But you need A6 to beat Samir before Samir has her 4 set. Well, Samir will need 1 star on her 4 set to beat Ruby. Yeah, it's safe. It was fixed a couple days ago. It's been safe for the past 5 days. 5 or so days, I think. Was it whenever they did the update? They already fixed it. There was like a problem with the code. They patched it out. Yeah, you match with randoms now. It's been fine for the past couple days, so you don't have to worry anymore. And the people who got affected, they're getting all their stuff back anyways, so there's that. Ruby will probably still be decent for Shadow though. Basically swipe everything to A6 full SSR matrices if you don't want to use standard. Pretty much. Kind of, yeah. No, actually not even still. If you swiped all the way, you're still gonna wanna use Crow with Claudia. You do match now, but it's still anxious. Ah, I see. I mean, the only problem you can have matching with randoms is if the randoms suck, and you have to hard carry them like I am. Right, I'm just doing the shatter and the DPS here. I'm the DPS, I'm the tank, and I'm probably also the healer. Yeah, they're just... The problem as well is, you know, like, even if they have tank resonance, they have to at least be doing 1/8 of my damage. Like, my damage is, like, yeah, cool, yeah, I see. I am doing quite a lot of damage there, but... You know, it's not hard to do 1/8 of my damage. Get aggro off of me. Whoever the tank is. Like, it would be nice. Okay, yeah, they're actually they're doing their emotional damage. I'm a DPS, healer, and raid woman. I'm the DPS, the healer, and I'm also the tank. I'm technically also the tank. I'm also the tank. Tom Cruise is in that movie. Okay. Can someone pull the aggro off of me, please? I don't like fighting this when I have aggro. It's just annoying when I have the aggro. Make global very free to play friendly, yeah. I mean, the only must-have SSRs right now on global, honestly, like the strongest of the limited SSRs, right, is like freaking Nemesis is the most universal. Like, it just ends up, yeah, since standard banner is endgame. Well, kind of. But yeah. I mean, it's nice that they're keeping things balanced. Think of it this way. Now the game will be an MMO where you can basically create your own class. It's a classless MMO where you can basically just mix whatever you like. Kind of. But it is going to be really weird when you think about how strong Nemesis will stay. Not Nemesis. Samir will be and how strong Meryl will be long term. But the thing is, this only is a thing because of the unique characteristics of their 4 sets being exclusive to them. But at the same time, it's kind of funny how they balance them around having an exclusive 4-set Matrix set. Do I play other MMOs? Not at the moment, no. I used to play World of Warcraft, but I haven't in a long time. I quit World of Warcraft halfway through Legion. Yeah. You're also thinking about building a good support team, yeah. So you can get carried by the whale. But it's just funny just how the things are just gonna end up. Samir and Meryl meta will stay. Yeah, that is the downside as well. You kinda gotta Giga Whale them if you wanna use them. That is true. But at the same time, at least it means it's balanced. So like, it's just in a weird situation either way, yeah. Right? They're balanced. They're going to be balanced. I mean, I'd still rather have them be balanced than them be like... thing. If you look on the bright side, the cost of getting a 6-star SSR here if you're lucky is about the same as getting a guaranteed 5-star in Genshin. Rerun banners is still a thing, yeah. But you also gotta remember that at least the gacha is cheaper than some other games. Right? Like, for some people, they've gotten, you know, like a 6-star on their limited SSR for around 400, which is the price of getting a guaranteed, like a guaranteed 5-star in Genshin. 1 guaranteed limited character. 1 copy. Yeah, it's like 200 and get it. Exactly. Exactly. It's a lot cheaper here. So like, yeah. But limited banners will be a thing, right? And eventually, they'll get added to standard as well. The limited ones. So if you save enough, you can eventually just 6-star them in the future. But yeah, you're just gonna have weird situations like that. But they can, because of this, instead, like every weapon can just be similar power level, but they work differently. So you can have different ways of playing. But it is funny how that's just gonna end up happening. Oh, Lin is still look forward. Lin is basically what's been happening is, if they aren't like strong because of their support utility, the DPS ones won't be as impactful. Nope, I don't think so. The reason why Lin is so strong is because of how universal her buffs are. So the only way they can really adjust Lin, like they're gonna reduce her damage, no doubt. But she's still going to keep her utility. She's just gonna buff less. It's just that she buffs a lot. And the thing is as well, because we've already established how Nemesis and Samir function, right? If they, as long as they keep the endurance boost that Lin has, she's going to be broken for Samir and Meryl. Yeah, exactly. She's going to be buffing Samir and Meryl by a lot, just because she reduces endurance consumption. That's something no one else can really do. And it's really important because that's where Samir and Meryl get their DPS from. They get it from their endurance. And it's like it's mostly just their endurance for their DPS. So it's a massive buff. Because it just lets them DPS for longer. Dun, dun, dun. Oh, I can't do that in here. I'm gonna have to queue for more. But yeah, I don't really see them doing too much to Lin. Because the thing is, they probably overlooked Meryl and Samir, honestly. I feel like they overlooked, yeah. But yeah, they're doing a good job with the balancing at least. But at the same time, it means it's safe for them to put anyone on standard. Right? It just means it's safe. And eventually, you know, free-to-plays can catch up. They have a Bible as their weapon was altered as an element. Just like Lin. They're skill based off 2 weapon elements. But hey, at least it means the things they made it free-to-play friendly, yeah. Yeah, pretty much. Like, you'll still want some of them, right? Like, for Samir, you're going to want to have Nemesis for Samir. You're going to want to have both Nemesis and Claudia for Crow. You're going to want to have Frigg for Meryl. Right? Like, Frigg isn't a DPS. She's just there to buff Meryl. So, you know, it is what it is. Hi, Byaku. Who doesn't want a limited, but at least, yeah. You don't have to chase, yeah. We were just talking about Ruby, Byaku. Ruby's going to be very balanced on global. She won't be broken. Ruby at A6 will do about as much damage with 1-star matrices as Meryl with 1-star Meryl 4-piece, or as Samir with 1-star Samir 4-piece, assuming all of them are 6-star. But here's the thing. There won't be a fire team. There won't be a fire team with Ruby. Unless you have A6 Cobalt. Otherwise, the best Ruby team will be Ruby with Nemesis and then Claudia. or Ruby with Claudia and Tsubasa. Because the current fire options, without the burn thing, they're just so weak that you're better off just buffing Ruby more. You're better off. And they're not even good stat sticks. Because they're not good stat sticks, and they're just too weak. Because they suck as stat sticks and they're not strong enough. Cobalt, Ruby, Claudia, yeah. That will be the best option, but that's assuming you have A6 Cobalt. If you don't have A6 Cobalt, A6 Nemesis will outdo A5 Cobalt. No, like, the funny thing is, you need, like, A6 Nemesis is stronger than A5 Cobalt for Ruby. A6 Nemesis will do more than A5 Cobalt for Ruby. So, like, the end of the... You're telling that to fire peeps, yeah. Because King does nothing, Huma does nothing. Huma, like, because here's the thing. The problem is Ruby's on-field damage is better than the quick swap from the other ones. They need the A6 Cobalt, yeah. Unless you just want to run Ruby team. Yeah, A6 or go home. It's not a fire team. It's a Ruby team. There is no fire team. It's a Ruby team. Here's the other funny part, though. Zero does more DPS than A0 Cobalt. Not Cobalt. A0 Ruby. A0 Ruby will be weaker than 0 DPS. A1 Ruby will be on par with Samir at 50% crit rate. A1 Ruby will be on par with A1 Samir at 50% crit rate, but weaker than Meryl. So timings already got mined, yeah. Okay, we got the timings and we got the numbers. A6 Ruby will be stronger than Meryl and Samir at A6 until you factor in their exclusive matrix set. But what this means is, if you're running 2-piece mixes, Ruby will be stronger. A6 Ruby is stronger than A6 Samir and A6 Meryl if you're only running 2-piece mixes. But if you're running the exclusive sets, then Samir and Meryl are going to be a little bit stronger than Ruby. A little bit. But the sad part is, you have you have more options on what you can do with Meryl and with Samir. So like it's just a weird situation there. So like there is not there won't be a fire team, it's just a Ruby team. Like for me, the best option, technically speaking, the best option I have if I wanted to play Ruby is take my Nemesis, take my my Tsubasa, and then put Ruby. Yeah, standard SSR will be the end game. It's funny because I was kind of like, I was like, you know what? Because of what they did with Samir and Meryl, they're going to last. I mean, I guess this was also kind of true as well because people already on testing with on like actual DPS in the closed beta, they also found out that yes, like by a decent-ish amount, the Wailed Crow comp is stronger because your rotation is around 12 to 15 seconds and all you're doing is spamming discharges. The thing is, A6 Ruby's rotations is just kinda weird. Yeah, most of the cutscene in 2.2 is all about the Volt comp, wow. But yeah, like, the thing is, the Ruby rotation is going to be very difficult to play if you want to play Ruby optimally, just because of the burn detonation. Because the thing is with Cobalt-based burns, the A6 burn is independent from the A5 burn. You have two burns. It's actually two burns. But yet when you detonate them, is going to be like where Ruby becomes complicated to play on the timing for the detonation. Because you can detonate it 10 times a minute, a total of 10 times a minute, but getting it to line up so you get the full detonation on the A6 burn on Cobalt is going to be the hard part. Because if you don't line it up properly, Nemesis instead of Cobalt in that slot will do more if you have A6 Nemesis. Like, that's just the weird part. A6 Nemesis does so much background damage that she still somehow finds a way. Just for that. Just for her background damage. Like, she just finds a way. I mean, it doesn't also help that they just gave Nemesis very good stats for a weapon. Like, she has very good stats for her, her growth on stats. It is just going to be weird. So there's officially no power creep. Kind of, yeah. If your weapon sucks, there's no hope. If the weapon has potential, then there's potential. And 2 and 4 stars attack, yeah. Yeah, here's the problem. King has terrible stats. The thing is, like, even though you lose out on resonance, because the stats on the weapons are so bad, like, you know, the stat growth on King and Zero is not great. The stat growth on Huma as well is not great. Right? Like, because their stats are bad as well, and they don't do anything. Like, when you're playing with Ruby, they don't do anything. That is just, you know, it's just why. But yeah, like, unless you have A6 Cobalt, you might as well just play Tsubasa, Claudia, Ruby. And just forget Resonance altogether. You're just gonna use Tsubasa and Claudia to buff Ruby. It just sounds wrong. Like, it sounds kind of wrong, but like, that's kind of the best you can do. Like, that's kind of the best. Because the other thing is, the amount of damage per field time that Cobalt does is very low. Like, the amount of time that you could spend... Yeah, Ruby not Resonance. No, Ruby has Flame Resonance as well. But you just won't care unless you have A6 Cobalt. You just ignore it. Just ignore it. Ruby has an extra 10% fire attack buff for herself. Yeah, you're just gonna ignore it. Ruby's skill gives you 10% flame attack. 10% from her skill. But like, yeah, you're just gonna ignore burn mechanics and detonation if you don't have A6 Cobalt. Because it's the only burn worth detonating. So you just ignore it if you can't have it. And then like at that point, Nemesis will just do this about the same off-field. Like, she'll just do so much off-field that it'll just match. Like, it's just the sad part. Because the thing is with Nemesis, it's barely 2 seconds that you're spending with Nemesis to reapply her thing. The problem is Cobalt's skill takes 4 seconds, and in that same 4-second period, A6 Ruby's like regular damage does more than the total skill. Like, it does slightly more than the total skill, including the A1 upgrade on Cobalt in terms of damage multipliers. So it just ends up being like you're only using it for the burn. So you're only switching to Cobalt to get the burn, so you can then have it as background damage. But if you're only doing it for background damage, because the burn isn't strong enough to detonate, like with the A6, Nemesis A6 will just do about the same or slightly more off-field damage by just existing. Because Nemesis has faster animations to do what she needs to do. And then Huma again, like, you can apply the fire field, but the animation time for the amount of damage, and then the fact that you can't use that time as Ruby, it's long enough where you just don't want to do it. Like, that's just the problem. You just don't want to do it. So you're just going to be playing Ruby. You won't be using your other 2 weapons unless they buff Ruby, or it's just enough off-field damage to work with buffing Ruby. No, you just wanted to say you hope that I have a good stream. Last night in Caligo Effect, but you were late. Yeah. Yeah, I was like about to head to like get some sleep near the end of it. I didn't stream for as long because I was quite busy that day, yeah. But yeah, it is just funny how this stuff is just happening. But hey, at least it's great for free-to-plays. Especially because free-to-plays will also just be guaranteed a 4-set Samir if they put all their stuff in the machine. So it won't be too difficult. But yeah, like, it's just gonna be funny. Yeah, the real free-to-plays are happy, yeah. I mean, that means instead you have to sell weapons based on the gameplay. Yeah, the freak free-to-plays are upset, yeah. I mean, here's the thing, right? Whales are going to whale regardless, and now you instead give the people the incentive. Play because you like the setup, how it plays, rather than because they're strong. You can skip phase 2. They're just upset without a reason, yeah. But like, it's just a lot better for them. Hey, you don't have to keep pulling for the next flavor of the month. You can keep using the 1.0 standard stuff if you invest enough in them. They're balancing the game. It's funny, they're complaining because the game is being balanced. Yeah, it is unfortunate sometimes how they balance some things around their 6-star. Like in the case of Cobalt B, where she's literally balanced around being 6-star. Unfortunately. But you know, yeah. Yeah. They're still saying that, like... Yeah, I know, I've seen like people talking about things that way with Frost. There's going to be 2 different Frost comps in Global. The Frost comp will be 2 different distinct DPS. You're gonna be playing Alice DPS through skill spam, or you're going to be playing Meryl. Yeah, people already know, yeah. Exactly. I mean, the fact that anyone can target it as well, you know. Cobalt was a whale toy on CN, yep. And now everything's just going to be like that. Oh yeah, I saw something in my Discord that someone linked the Filipino ads for Tower of Fantasy. We should go look at them later because there's like a bunch of them that Like, if they're like the first one I saw, they're gonna be hilarious. Yeah, Ruby's only strong at A6 as well. Oh shit, I messed this up. Whatever. Yeah, and Saki will be A6 too, yeah. I mean, Saki will have a completely different gameplay setup than Meryl. Right? You're gonna be using Saki as a skill spam. You're going to be using Meryl as endurance DPS. Different playstyles. Right? So instead, now you can basically evaluate something by their playstyle. Play the one you like that more, rather than because it's the strongest. I see no problems with that. Play because you like it more, not because it's the strongest. Best incentive right there. I haven't seen the Saki changes. Like, there are some leaks on it, but though they're so early on that, like, there's still a lot of time for them to make changes to Saki that I can't really say much on them. But the Ruby ones are pretty much, like, Ruby's pretty much complete. Like, Ruby's pretty much complete. So I don't really see it, like, talking about Ruby as a problem. Yeah. They're gonna ignore the Meryl one, and that's their own choice. But hey, at least they'll have two distinct playstyles. Like, Volt has two distinct playstyles. If you want discharge spam with Claudia Crow, or if you want endurance DPS with Samir. Right? They're gonna play differently. They're both strong options, eventually. It's just that the Crow one is a whale toy. Right? It's a whale toy. But yeah, like, the thing is, the Ruby Fire is going to be the hardest one to play. It's going to be the hardest one to play properly, just because of how you have to manage the burn consumption, like, you know, on Ruby, with Cobalt's burn. But you need, you know, you will need 6-star Cobalt there. You will need 6-star Cobalt for it. Or just put Ruby in a different team and just forget it exists. Because that's also viable. Just play a Ruby team and not a Fire team. Yeah. Everything will be worse. I don't know about every limited being worse unless there's support. Yeah, global balancing. Unless there is support, right? Unless there is support. Because Nemesis is still really good with what she does. Though I think Nemesis might be more of an exception. Nemesis just being very strong off-field is kind of broken. On top of her utility. But hey, at least it means it's, we don't have to deal with things like, with some of those collab things ruining things up in the meta. Having multiple options to play based on what you like, I see no problems on that. These guys gonna actually shatter. Yeah. Collab changes shifted in a different way. That too, right? Because people on CN were using Tianglong, Bayuki, and Lin, or they were using what? They were also using Mark with Lyra, and then they were using Lin as well. And how powerful they were with what they did. This own mess. But then they had to keep power creeping things one after another. Man, why are they using freaking fire weapon here? Fucking people are dumb. King does negative damage here. You might as well be healing the boss. I saw some guy like swinging King around on this. Like, don't. Especially because it has a fire shield. And it shields up. You might as well just be using like a non-shatter weapon to shatter. Basically you want to remove the need part, yeah, and you make it a want. Yeah. And I think that's overall a good thing. Make it a want and not a need. Better for everyone. Makes the game a lot more free-to-play friendly. Whales will already do whale things regardless. And you have some whales who pulled for 4-sec cobalt for some reason. Like those exist, those people exist. There's some people who even max them out too. They won't listen to anything about it, yeah. I mean, hey, they get a new thing to play. That's good for them. Because people always thought limited would be stronger, yeah. But hey, this also means they can make any limited a standard and they'll all have the same value. Yeah. Yep. I mean, you need to have both, right? Especially in an MMO, you need to have all kinds of players. You need to have all the kinds of players. You can't just have only whales. You're gonna need to have free-to-plays to play with. There's no, like, the whales aren't gonna have fun if they, there's no one to play with in an MMO. Right? And there's a significantly smaller portion of the player base to have a bunch of people whaling. They're a very, very small group of people. These guys aren't doing shit. God damn it. One of them's like full on dead too. They're just not doing anything. This is why we also need tanks, so the freaking DPS doesn't have to worry about taking all the aggro. Exactly. You still need the support. But yeah. They can't do anything alone. And they're trying to make it a lot more team focused. They better not be using fire weapons on it. King is doing nothing to that shield. Freaking people using King. Don't use King. King is like absolutely useless here. They need to put like an actual tutorial on enemy shield colors so people who are blind can see that no, if the enemy has an orangey red shield, do not use a fire weapon. They're not gonna do anything to shatter it. Hi, Silencer. Welcome, welcome. Alright. This is the problem with when I'm having me tank everything. I can't focus on doing anything because I have to not die. Guys are just so useless. Yeah. You see no reason for people to be upset. I see people like being a bit like trying to be shills for certain things as well. These guys are so useless. Like, they do absolutely nothing. Those guys in that group, they do absolutely nothing. They can't even, like, hold aggro. I'm tanking the whole time. If I can't do anything, I'm like, yeah, everything is just gonna not work. Get so close to the end, but can't clear it because they're so bad. It's like, what are they doing? Hi, Tara. I see you there. Hi, Fernando. Hi, Robin. Welcome, welcome. It's 100 million damage, but that's not a good thing. I wouldn't say wow. I mean, I guess you can say wow, and the other people in the group are useless. Not were, they are useless. Is what you can say. Right? But we should add an exclamation mark to people, yeah. Like, if you're gonna queue up as Fortitude, please actually play Fortitude. Please. Because it's a pain in the ass doing things where, like, I'm the only one actually doing something. Hi, Acme Studios. Welcome, welcome. Best team to take aggro is, for here, it's NA plus Meryl, and then put whatever your weapon, plus Frag right now. Hi, Tara. Welcome, welcome. Yeah, like, if the enemies have, you just use your Fortitude weapons. Just use 2 Fortitude weapons and something else. You have your aggro multiplied by 8. That's all that matters. Your aggro is multiplied by 8. That's, like, literally the only thing that matters. I better not be using fire weapons in here. Doing fine. I'm doing fine, Tara. Just a regular old day. Hi, it's on Pie. Welcome, welcome. But yeah, I am curious to see what will happen with Saki. Like, I am curious to see how they'll tone her down for global. 2 Fortitude and 1 healer, yeah, pretty much. All you need to do is you need to just do at least 1/8 of the damage of the main DPS. So whoever has the highest DPS, you need to do at least 1/8 of their damage. That's all that matters. Yeah, same as any other weapon from now on, yeah. Unless they have some really strong, like, support utility, they're just not gonna be, anything crazy. But I wonder, though, like, how they're gonna differentiate them, right? Because Meryl's a DPS weapon, but she's an endurance DPS. While the other one has the ability to reset skill cooldowns. More RPG makers. You ran into an issue, and you were down for 2 hours until your internet got fixed. Oof. That sucks. At least you got it fixed. Right? But oof. There we go. At least this one's actually gonna have someone else who does some DPS. Although I'm still going to be stuck tanking because no one knows how to hold aggro. Looking forward to anything added. I wish we added a non-CN. I mean, we're gonna get more content, right? We're gonna get more content eventually, right? So we're gonna have more, I want more wormholes, because I don't think they added any more wormholes. I like the wormhole mode. They were a fun little challenge. If they made more of them but made them harder, I would like to see more wormholes. The Battle Royale is gonna come eventually anyways. So is the 8v8 PvP stuff. Right? Yeah, the wormhole's fun. And they definitely did do more stuff with Void Rift, so that's already something. Yeah, that's the problem. It's only flame weapon the entire time. At least give us more options there. Right? Mostly it's just more gameplay options with weapons to interact with the things. But that's stuff that they just... we're always gonna be behind on. The first 3 agents you had didn't know what to do because they didn't know English, and the last one was able to boost your internet, but the rest of the fixes tomorrow. Apparently, like, remember how I was taught the issues the other day, right? I called my ISP after that on Thursday, and they're sending someone tomorrow to check up on it. So that'll be something. Though I don't know how they're gonna check the stability, because my issue was upload bandwidth, not download. Because like, my concern is just, you know, maintaining the stream bitrate. Yeah, exactly. Only Giga Whales at A6 can overtake, yeah. But you know, it's really nice how they have tank stuff set up here on in the game, because you only need to do 1/8 of the DPS of the highest DPS in the thing to take aggro, because they have 8 times damage multiplier for threat. That's what this game has. Well, I really wish these people would actually, if they're playing supports, would bake in the Matrix utility in the rotations. Like using stuff like Omnium Shield or not Confinement once in a while. What else is good for buffing? The one that gives lifesteal as well. Alternate Destiny. And this one is going really smoothly. Yours wasn't getting over 23 when you started streaming, both up and down. Yeah, that's the problem. Right? So you're paying for one speed, you better get the speed you're paying for. Like, I don't mind if I get more than what I'm paying for, but I should never be getting less. That's a no-no. This is just annoying when you're stuck tanking and you get stuck touching all the shit. Because you're just tanking everything. And then you die. Thanks for the follow. This is why you need tanks, so you don't die. Because the tanks take reduced damage and they'll actually hold the aggro. 1 gig up and down? 1 gigabit per second up and down is your speed? That must be nice. That must be nice having that option. Why not make a video on the balancing? Oh yeah, that's gonna happen. That's going to be in the Ruby video. Balancing will be the end game. It's going to piss off some people who are like too crazy. They're like, no, it's not limited. Limited is stronger than standard. Yeah. I've been playing this a lot actually. I didn't even see who was the MVP there. I mean, I did the most healing and damage. Damn it, I was 1 mil off from 69. My voice deep fried because my microphone is shit. My microphone is just pretty bad. Yeah, if it doesn't stay consistent, It's only standard if you A6 it sometimes. I mean, Nemesis exists, right? Unless they have like a very specific niche. Right? Like, if you're a buffer, you have an excuse. Right? Claudia is a strong buffing. Right? Claudia A1 for the buff. Strong buff. Broken with her 4-set matrices. Frigg at A0 is just 30% frost attack, right? And a shatter boost. So there's that, right? Like, she just exists for buffing. It's either, like, yeah, but, yeah, for DPS, yeah. Buffers are a different breed. I mean, there's Nemesis, who technically isn't a buffer until A5. Like, Meryl, no, not Meryl. Nemesis isn't a buffer. Saki will need A6 now. I don't know, maybe. It depends on how they balance her. Because Ruby will on global. Ruby will need A6 to compete with A6 Samir or A6 Meryl. But then Meryl and Samir have the ability to overtake with exclusive matrices. But that's something Ruby will just never have. They just made the characters usable at A1. I mean, as an A1, right, Ruby won't be anything special at A1. She'll be average. She'll be average at A1. Yeah. Claudia is, so they are not support. Claudia just needs a. Claudia is supposed to be a sub DPS. The problem is Claudia's sub DPS is at A6. Right? Thanks for the follow to Silent Storm. Thanks for the follow. They do another joint up. There's just no hope for Cobalt. But hey, at least she has a really nice skin for one-handed gameplay. Glad you like my model. Glad you like it. She still buffs at A1. Yeah, Claudia is just for buffing though. Right, Claudia is just the buffer. It's a very good buff though. But yeah, like Ruby is really going to need that A6 to shine. Well, not really shine, but to match other A6s. Well, it is what it is. And then the other fire options are just bad. Buffers are welcome at any star, yeah. They don't make the units balance around A6, yeah. Except, yeah. I mean, Cobalt's supposed to be a sub DPS that's off field, right? But the problem is she was balanced around A6. But it is what it is. That's how they decided to balance this game. The better don't most feature units, yeah. But DPS probably needs A6 to standard, yeah. I mean, that's just because of what they ended up doing there. You realize during the playtest you have some switches that are not working. That's not good. What the hell are these guys doing? Are they just not loaded in? What the hell? What the fuck are they doing? Where's the... What the fuck? Where's the other person? What the hell is the other person doing? Yeah, not great, but fine, yeah. It sounds fine. Because if not, low spenders, which are a majority, exactly. Low spenders and free-to-play, they're important. If you don't have the low spenders, you don't have the free-to-play, who are you gonna be playing with? It's an MMO. Can you imagine playing an MMO, but you don't have players? What's the point of playing an MMO if there's no one to play with? Right? It's an MMO. It's supposed to be massively multiplayer online, not online. Yeah, for buffers, they should be good at A1, yeah. You wanted to say majority of income. That too, right? Right? And the thing is, like, how do you get more people to play, right? Word of mouth. More people are playing, more people are gonna see it. For DPS, they need A6 to match standard A6, yeah. Very balanced. Like, some people will like it, some people may hate it, but it's just going to be very balanced. The only way they can make it so that it doesn't happen like that is if they just made every DPS, every limited DPS, have upgrades like Frigg, Where like Frig's upgrades from advancing Frig are very, very minor. Like, I've pissed people off in the Discord by saying like, yeah, the difference between A0 Frig and an A6 Frig is very minor. Because like, you're not using Frig for damage, you're using her for buff. You get a tiny bit of extra passive damage over your rotation, but it's very minor. Like, the amount of damage that Frig does in like a 30-second period at A6 is not even half of what A6 Nemesis does over the same period. But Frig buffs more attack, right? Frig is buffing up to 40% frost attack, Nemesis is only 25% volt. That's where they make up for it. But you get 30% buff on the frost from baseline Frig. Nemesis is only 15% base. You get the other 10% at A6. Or rather, you get 5% at A5 and then another 5% at A6. Nice and balanced that way. But it is what it is. Right, like, it is what it is. Like, can you imagine, like, telling a new player, like, oh, you wanna go play, we released a new piece of content, you wanna go play? Don't worry, your barrier of entry is spending like $1,000 so you can start playing with everyone else. That just sounds like a very bad idea. Like, can you imagine telling someone like, oh yeah, you wanna play with everyone else and the newest content, whatever added? Yeah, go spend like $1,000 just so you can be at their level. Like, can you imagine telling someone that? Because, oh, we power creep the fuck. Instead, they're suffering because of the experience buff, not banner, yeah. They're just leveling too fast. But at least leveling too fast is not as bad of a problem as power creep the hell out of everything. Yeah. It's because they're just skipping, they're weaker. But I'd rather have this than the game be like, you have to pay like being a paywalled. Yeah. They need to just put more catch-up mechanics for them. They just need to have more catch-up mechanics so they can actually catch up. Or at least enforce CS restrictions. Kind of. Well, not really CS, but like... No, you know what the game needs? The game needs something like this. I remember this. In Legion, I think it was World of Warcraft during Warlords of Draenor. Or was it Legion? If you wanted to do the random group finder, you had to, by requirement, you were required to clear the Proving Grounds sub-mode up to a certain point and get a certain score to be allowed to randomly queue with others, just so that you wouldn't be like completely bad at the game and not pull your weight when playing with randoms. That's what this game needs. If you want to queue for random content without a if you want to do the matchmaking, they need to put a restriction where you have to clear some sort of game mode, and they'll just tailor something so like, you know, just so they know you're ready, and that'll fix the problem. We need the Proving Grounds. Yeah. And the deep... You want that too, but they're doing A6 to surpass this play standard, yeah. Yeah, if you can manage in-game IRL resources, yeah. That's... yeah. Did we shatter this thing? I didn't even pay attention when I was reading what you were saying. I'm hoping we shattered this, or rather, I shattered it. Oh no, we didn't shatter this. Okay, I'm done. I'm stopping damage. Ah, these guys are fucking worthless. What the hell are they doing? Yeah, I'm not gonna deal damage if I'm gonna kill myself by doing it. I'm just gonna wait. Like, they're just encouraging me to wait. Because they didn't bother shattering. One of them's using a fire weapon. What the hell are these guys doing? What the hell are these guys doing? I'm just gonna leave. I don't care. I'll get a different group. He wanted A1 Socket to be better than Meryl, but sadly it's gonna be fully wheeled Socket who beats Meryl. Here's the thing, will fully wheeled Socket beat Meryl? Or will fully wheeled Socket match a fully wheeled Meryl? Yeah. So TUF loses money and we have fun. Yeah. Yeah? I mean, it's still better overall for health of the game, yeah. Yeah, the game is around whale veteran carrying the week. Yeah? Mm-hmm. That is true. Because they don't put restrictions on entry. That would have been like a very simple thing. They should just like make a mode that's like, you want to do matchmaking, you have to clear something. We'll put like a special training ground. Call it Executor's Training Grounds. And you have different difficulty levels for each level bracket. And you have to clear it as your role. If you want to be allowed to play as a healer in the Executor in, let's say, level 70 Joint Ops, you have to clear a healing challenge at level 70. You want to play as a tank, you have to clear a tanking challenge at level 70. Yeah, because gatekeeping limited units for only whales is super bad. Yeah, it is very bad. Especially for an MMO. It is very bad. Because if you balance things around having limited units, yeah. The good thing is, unlike other MMOs, there's no trade. Yeah. That's the good thing as well. Learning how to shatter, they're not leeching, yeah. That's how you fix it. This is how you fix the game. This is how you fix matchmaking. You make it so you can't even do this. So every 5 levels, just put this in there. Like, not every 5 to 10 levels. So every 10 levels, and then put one at level 75 and another one at level 80. Make it so if you want to play as whatever role, right? Let's say you wanted to play as the healing role, right? Just don't allow balance. Just don't allow balance in team play there. If you want to play, let's say, healing role, right? You have to do a healing challenge. You just make a challenge and you have to heal it. Oh, oops. Yeah, that's a very sucky situation. I'll wait for the ads thing to end. I can't really do anything about it. It's Twitch. But yeah. Like, big brain way to fix the problem. Wait, just 40 more seconds. Because you've seen many whales or whales wannabes calling everyone that are weak leeching. No, unless they're totally AFK or, yeah. The problem is, you can tell when they're leeching. Like, you saw all those joint ops I was doing. They were full on leeching there because they weren't healing or shattering. The only ones that were cleared were the ones where someone was at least doing something else. But those last few, they were just full on leeching. I'm not even like complaining about their damage. They were full on leeching. Because I was the only one doing shatter to the bosses. They already gatekeep Rupee hard, and they make Saki better than it would be a massive power creep, yeah. Alright, let's go back to what I was talking about. S27. What they need to do, make a special solo challenge. Honestly, which one is it? The healing challenge here. This is what the game needs. You need to have a modified version of the survival challenge and a modified version of the healing challenge. And what they have to do is make an AI that deals DPS, like just does a lot of DPS, and have them be able to die. So you have to keep aggro off of them for if you want to play tank. You have to basically force people to learn how to play tank if they want to queue as a tank. Force people to learn how to heal if they want to play healer. Just force them so you don't get randoms queuing up for something they can't do. You force them to be required to be able to do what they queued up for. Like, you have to force the requirement. And if they can't meet the requirement, they can't queue up for it. That's how you weed out the problem. You force them to be able to handle it. That's how you get rid of leeching. Well, not completely, but that's how you ensure that the players can actually handle the content. Because of how the new players are just getting accelerated boosted. Alright. They gatekeep Ruby because she required 2 6-stars. Basically, bygone F2P tutorial, not a normal one, yes. Basically a modified version of bygone. World of Warcraft had something like this when I played. It was called the Proving Grounds. Let me just show you gameplay of it. World of Warcraft Proving Grounds. Warcraft. You had to get a silver medal in Proving Grounds, which was like very easy to do. Proving Grounds. Here. So this is what it says on the wiki. Proving Grounds is a special single-player scenario that allows players to learn and demonstrate their core skills associated with a given class or role. There's ones for learning how to tank, where you have to protect NPCs, and the NPC will be a healer and a DPS, right? Or there's another one where it's based around healing, where you have to keep a whole party alive and you're the healer. And you just have to survive a couple waves and last till the end. And the DPS one was a DPS check. You had to do a certain amount of DPS that's enough to kill bosses in a safe window. Oh, what's my CS now? It didn't really change. It's still about the same. It's still like 59,000. But this is what we need. We need the Proving Grounds, but for joint, to be the way to keep joint ops. Just so the players can actually clear the content. This would also just improve the experience for matchmaking, especially if you don't get like a whale or a veteran grouped up. Yeah, they basically did the same thing for Cobalt, yes. Cobalt's, Ruby's damage is going to suck without A6. But at the same time, like, there's just not going to be a fire team. It's not going to be a fire team. It's going to be a Ruby team, not a fire team. Right? But yeah, here's my CS, 59,171. But yeah, like, we need the Proving Grounds for this game. This is what we need. It's just a special talent challenge mode. Like, you don't need to have endless modes. You can keep an endless mode for flexing. But like, they had a basic, a bronze, a silver, and a gold challenge. Basically, what they did here. Here's what they did. So, in Warlords of Draenor, they made this a requirement. To at least get everyone on the same page in terms of information, okay. We will have normal heroic versions of our max level dungeons, okay. There'll be no special requirement, but for raids, Crucible silver medal required for looking for dungeon and looking for raids. This is what they did in World of Warcraft back in 2014 to make it so if you couldn't play the game, you're not allowed to queue with randoms. Right? This is what we need. And just put a requirement for everything, yeah. Yeah, like A6 Samir with full set is on par with A6 Ruby, yeah. It's the same thing with Meryl. A6 Meryl, yeah. So standard will be the end game, yeah. But I think it's fine as well that they did that. Like, it just keeps it balanced. Gives people options. But like, this is what we need. This is what we need. You basically require them. They have to do the silver medal, right? Get a silver medal challenge complete, and then they just do the map, right? Once they clear it, they're allowed to queue. That's it. And just have one for every 10 levels, right? You need to do one at level 10. You need to do one at level 20, do one at level 30, one at level 40, one at level 50, one at level 60, and one at level 70. Just a basic challenge. Make sure the player is able to handle damaging, tanking, or healing for whatever they want to queue for. When they can handle it, right, as long as they can clear it, right, then they pass. Like can you imagine, right, if you like the idea, to be fair, yeah. You bet some dev even brought something like that up to the corpos, and then the bean counter said, Charge goes, yeah, that sounds great and all, but the spreadsheets say we'll get more profit if we allocate more resources to gacha. Here's the thing: they don't even have to. They don't even have to make new content. They can already just rework what already exists. They need to just rework what already exists. For the tanking one and the healing one and the DPS challenge, you can literally take sequential phantasm and just tone it down a little bit for every single level bracket. And you're good to go. You have a specific mode for healing, a specific one for tanking, and then a specific one for DPS. Yeah. Yeah, the low spenders, and they won't have to spend at all, yeah. Would it? Yes. But at the same time, being able to clear it. How many times have you got into a joint op with randoms or a raid with randoms and not been able to clear the raid or joint op unless you had a whale in there? How many times have you queued up and been unable to do it because you have a bunch of people who don't know what they're doing? Yeah, it'll equal it out. But in this situation, you'll have a better experience because now you'll make sure everyone knows what they're doing. This is what we need for Tower of Fantasy right here. We need some version of the Proving Grounds. And it needs to be like a requirement there, right? You just put it out on the players, require them to clear it. If they clear it for that specific difficulty level, they're allowed to do it. Right? But there's one X factor that will hold the game back. You can't blame this. It's still a mobile game too, so there's still some limitation. Yeah, that is true. Right? That'll still do something to hold it back. But this will at least help. Having something like this will just ensure that the player can handle it. Right? You see, like, most of the time with randoms and joint ops and stuff, the players in there, they cannot handle the content. And especially when we get harder version of raids in Vera, it's gonna make it even harder to find a group who can handle them. Right? As easy as these three are now, they're going to be harder versions of these. And if they add more in the future, how do you know if the players can handle it? Because people are just going to be like, oh yes, I'm level 60, let me queue up. Oh, I'm level 66, let me just do this one. Oh, I'm level 70, I'll just join this one. You know what? That is true. Here's the problem. I've seen LFR and RAW. You know the problem with World of Warcraft though? The problem is, in the past couple years, Blizzard's been developing World of Warcraft around the top 0.1% of players and not the rest of the players. And they've just been scaling down the numbers for LFR. The reason why is, you've played World of Warcraft, you've played LFR, you've played raids, right? You know how many add-ons you need to keep track of the 69 boss abilities and all the mechanics there. We're like, oh yes, this boss, everyone needs to group up to get hit by the 69 bullets or whatever. Oh, everyone here, the boss's big hit, you need to all spread around because he's having this giant orgasmic shot at you. Everyone spread out. Oh, this one, you need to have, like, these people do this weird specific dance at this part of the room and have someone dance or do a stripper dance around that pole on the side of the room. Oh, here, you have to have the tanks go play a hot potato or something. Like, wasn't there, like, there's literally a boss in Mists of Pandaria where you have to play, like, hot potato? And then they had another one in Warlords of Draenor where you literally had to play hot potato with this random-ass item for the boss fight, otherwise you would wipe the whole raid if you didn't do it properly. You had stupid bullshit like that. So yes, of course it makes sense why LFR is a shit show, because you basically have to study for an exam. And you have to time a bot as well. The timing of the bot, yeah. That's the problem with World of Warcraft. Asmongold, like, yeah, I summoned him. Asmongold made a video. I saw it the other day. When he was reacting to someone saying, like, World of Warcraft being made for controller, like being ported to consoles, and then someone in his chat was like, wouldn't that mean they're gonna dumb down the content in the games? And he's like, yes, do it. Because when you think about it, a lot of the boss designs, as elaborate as they are, they're really a mess if you don't have things like big wigs or deadly boss mods or whatever. Like, you needed all these weird ass timers that analyzed everything the boss did just so you could follow along, because they designed it around having the people at the top beta testing and just slowly nerfing the bosses down until they can kill the thing on their mythic difficulty in a world first race. Like, they basically designed it for a very tiny amount of players instead of making something that, like, people can actually play without, like, a bunch of add-ons. Just play easy, normal, hard. No, that's the thing. World of Warcraft had that. They had easy mode, which is look LFR. They had normal mode. They had heroic mode, which was the hard mode. But then they had mythic mode, which is like the hardest mode. The thing is, the way they designed the bosses is just a mess when you think about how many mechanics. You know what? I'll show you. We'll go on Wowhead and we're gonna look at a random boss, random raid boss. I haven't played World of Warcraft in years, but from what I remember with, like, ever since, like, in the more recent years when I last played. I mean, World of Warcraft will probably get a good influx of players if they do the smart thing and put it on Game Pass. World of Warcraft is just bleeding players, and they're never gonna get new players. They're just gonna have their existing player base dwindle because of how the game is set up. But let's just go on Wowhead. Let's just go look up. We'll go look up a boss. You know what? Let's go pick up a boss. What are the thing? I haven't like looked at the game in a long time. What boss can we take? Right, because like you're gonna look at their abilities. Database. Where's the bosses? Where can I find the raid list? They changed the website here. I don't even know what I'm looking at. Instances. Let's just go look at. Let's pick a raid. You know what? Well, let's just go look at. I don't know. Is this the newest raid? We'll go look at this. I think this is the newest raid. Let's go look at the jailer. The boss has 55 abilities. Let's go on the mythic mode. He has 50 abilities. And they all have their own interactions and mechanics here. He has basically like 50 abilities. Well, not really 50, but like... He has so many mechanics to his abilities. And you have to like pay attention to them. Like, if you're a healer, you're a tank, or whatever. There's just so much going on. Like, they have like so many abilities. Yeah. Somehow, if they've said acquisition is attempted where to fail, you series honestly, I'm hoping they do acquire it, because if someone has to acquire Activision, I'd rather it be Microsoft than Tencent or Sony. Yeah, welcome back. Yeah, we're looking at some random ass raid boss fight. I haven't played this. I haven't touched World of Warcraft in like 5 years. So I don't really know what's going on here. But like, you see the amount of abilities on one boss. Like, there's so many abilities. There's so many abilities on the boss that you have to keep track of. Like, there's so many things going on. That, like, it's like you're studying for an exam to fight a raid boss. That's why LFR was still a mess. Because if people didn't know what they're doing in the raid boss, they could know how to play their class well and how to deal with certain things. But no, they did not. They don't quite. It's not like that. But yeah, let me just go back to the thing. That's the problem with LFR. Because you're not telling people, that people are not just going to be reading paragraphs on paragraphs, yeah. Yeah, they buffed Claudia's multipliers at her release, yeah. Even when the beta tests were lower, yeah, I know. I played Claudia in her beta. I know. They gave her more stuff on global. They also just made her goddamn force-set broken. Like, her force-set matrices are broken with how strong they are. Because they doubled their effect. But yeah, like, that's the problem with LFR. But I don't see that being too big of a problem with how much simpler the bosses are designed here. You don't need, like, a million add-ons to track what the hell the bosses are doing in a raid. Just putting a proving grounds type of system to get the people to at least know what they're doing should be enough. Like, when you see an enemy has a shield on them, yeah, it should be a big indicator that they need to shatter the shield, because the boss is going to do something bad if you don't break it. How many sleeps? That should be 3 more. 3 more. Just force people to learn. You hope who's alright. They buff her so she's at least alright at A1. Yeah. It's to not shit on people, yeah. People thought Elon Musk already owns Twitter, but news says it's in court right now, yeah. Well, because he wanted to back out of the deal. That's why it's in court. I feel like there are too much G game players, yeah. There definitely are. There definitely are. There definitely are. They're not used to ultra basic MMO mechanics. Yeah. They just used to press buttons. I mean, yeah, you can press buttons and not pay attention, you'll be good in G game. Yeah, that's why trolling with all those tweets and statements to make Twitter want to back out, yeah. I mean, it's just a big ass mess. You know, Nvidia tried to buy ARM. Nvidia wanted to buy ARM, but that thing got stopped. You had governments from all over the world being like, no, Nvidia, you are not allowed to buy ARM. Like, Nvidia wanted to acquire ARM. But right now, ARM is still just owned by the Japanese investment group SoftBank. It's funny, because ARM itself is a British company. Like, ARM is, it branched off from Acorn Computers, which is a British company. But their owners are a Japanese investment group. It is pretty funny how that, like, ended up happening. And they wanted to sell ARM, and they basically blocked Nvidia from buying ARM. I mean, it's pretty obvious how insane it would be if you could own ARM. They decided the risk of a monopoly would be too large. Exactly. And I see what you did there. Because yes, the risk of a monopoly would be too large. Especially Nvidia having that monopoly. To be honest, no one should be allowed to buy ARM. Like, it's just the bad news. Like, it would be bad news as a whole. That said, I would like to see, just for the lulz, the alternate reality of where Nvidia did buy ARM just to piss off Apple because they really hate each other. Favorite Disney princess off the top of my head? Yeah, I don't know. I don't really know any. Honestly, I don't have a favorite Disney princess. What the hell? I don't have a favorite Disney princess. Yeah, Nvidia hates Apple? Yes, they do. The drama with Nvidia and Apple goes back to around, I think it was 2011 or 2010. Before Apple Silicon, and when Apple made it Intel Macs, right? All of the Intel Macs prior to using AMD chips were using Nvidia chips. And every time Apple's engineers designed something really, really poorly on because of if you've ever seen MacBooks, like the actual design, you can go watch Louis Rossmann if you want to like learn a lot more about it. But if you've ever seen how they're engineered the MacBooks with the board layouts, like they're really, really badly laid out. And there's a bunch of different ways the thing can fail. If something goes wrong, there's so many points of failure. But what would happen was, Apple would always blame the faults of those MacBooks on Nvidia. Then they would try to force deals where like Nvidia would have to pay for repairs for their lack of competence, because all Nvidia did was make the chip that Apple put in the laptop. How like the rest of what work goes on behind that chip is up to Apple and their engineers to design something around it. But Apple basically kept blaming their incompetence and went through various different lawsuits against Nvidia. So basically, yeah, they hate each other. And then what makes it worse is after they basically stopped using Nvidia chips for graphics in Apple machines, right? And went to AMD for the graphics, because that's where they went afterwards for the graphics chip, right? It's not like obviously now they're using Apple Silicon, but that obviously has some more drama up there. But it gets even worse because there's a group of people. So this goes back to like the older Mac Pros where you had PCI Express expansion slots. But basically, if you ever tried to Hackintosh or you had one of those older Power Macs that had expansion cards where you could put in your own graphics cards, Apple basically blocks NVIDIA drivers from the kernel, from the Apple kernel, from like the Mac OS kernel. Like newer NVIDIA drivers are basically blocked, and they're doing whatever they did whatever they can to stop NVIDIA from making drivers for Macs. So the people who had those Mac Pros that would, in theory, be able to use those graphics cards, they can't. I'm just leaving. These guys are useless. But yeah, so you also have that. So let's say, you know, you have this old Mac Pro, right? You have the dual socket, I think they're like X56 50 Xeon 6-core, 12-threaded CPUs. So you have like 12 cores, right? So this is like late 2010. These Mac Pros. If you're wondering the desktop equivalent, it's like the i7 on the desktop. The first gen i7, but with more cores, obviously. That's the performance level of them. That was also like the last Mac Pro tower they made before they made a newer one a couple years later that looks like a cheese grater. But yeah, and if you buy the cheese grater Mac Pro and you were to get an NVIDIA card, let's say you had what's like the highest end one? Like, let's say you had a Tesla, what's the architecture again? Let's say you had a Turing-based Tesla card, or you had a Quadro RTX card. So like this super high-end professional level, like not meant for consumers, like the card costs like $10,000, right? And you wanted to use it for like your 3D modeling or video editing or something like that in your workstation, you would not be able to install drivers for it on those Mac Pros. Or let's say you had like a Thunderbolt dock with a USB, like you had the Thunderbolt external graphics dock. You can buy an AMD graphics card off the shelf, put it in one of those external GPU docks, and use it with a Mac. You can use it with any Mac that supports Thunderbolt. You can use it with any AMD graphics card, but you cannot do it with NVIDIA. Or rather, if you did, you'd have to use modified basic drivers that don't really work well. But yeah, you know nothing about Macs because they're useless at gaming and they aren't worth knowing about. Macs are like just in a really weird spot because a lot of the Macs that end up getting sold, they're basically just glorified Chromebooks with an Apple logo. Because that's basically what you can use them for. I wouldn't say NVIDIA over AMD. I wouldn't. It depends. They do. Like, everything gets viruses. It is just bullshit when people say, but Macs don't get viruses. That is just full-on bullshit. The thing is, these days, the typical viruses people think of aren't really a thing anymore. The virus attacks that you get are more like, they're not attacking those types of things. They're more likely to attack stuff like your web browser. I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't just say get better frames in some games, because it's the same thing on NVIDIA's side. But their software features are a bare minimum? No. If you've ever used the software features on an AMD card, at least in the past 5 years, they do have more features and better features than NVIDIA, but AMD's hardware encoder is inferior to NVIDIA's. I wouldn't quite say that, but yes, NVIDIA at the moment has better ray tracing support. But it's not quite that simple. I don't think you've ever, I've used both AMD and NVIDIA cards in the past. My current card is an NVIDIA GTX 1080. I've used AMD cards in the past. I've used them. I've worked on machines with them. The AMD graphics driver software, for actually controlling and tuning your stuff, is leagues ahead of NVIDIA's. NVIDIA's control panel, it literally looks worse than a Windows XP control panel. it's like so dated and like lacking of features. The 1050 works pretty well for the frame rate, no issues. I haven't seen Blue Lock. I haven't really watched anything yet this season. I've just been too busy for that. Having massive banners hanging around much more productive. You can be with a Mac over a PC because of how much a PC user would have to present recovering viruses. That is just bullshit. Because here's the thing. The thing they're talking about is just, it just doesn't make any sense because that's not how they're gonna target you. Oh, he's full on lying. You know, Jensen's just saying that because he wants to charge, you know, $900 for a $200 card for a 60 class GPU. He wants to charge Titan money for a 60 class GPU. He's obviously lying. And literally every other semiconductor company is saying the exact opposite. AMD's response was no, Moore's Law isn't dead. Apple didn't respond to anything because Apple likes to not talk about anything. And these guys are useless. I'm just leaving. These guys can't do anything. I'm leaving. Intel said the same thing. Intel also said Moore's Law ain't dead because it's not. Yeah. As a package, yes. As a whole package, it does work better most of the time. Yes. But, it's just a mess. It's complete BS, yeah. You lost respect and you left for Apple, yeah. Because here's the thing. Most of the things that get people these days, they have nothing to do with whatever operating system you're on. You know what's the biggest target? No one. Here's the thing. If you wanna hack as many vulnerabilities out there, you don't want to attack the operating system they want. Oh yeah, the ad. But yeah, like you don't attack the operating system, you attack the web browser. Most of the stuff people are doing are web-based apps. A lot of stuff out there. Everyone praises Nvidia 2 years when the 3080 was $700. Yeah, they did. You know why? Because yeah. Here's the thing. The RTX 2080 was as fast as a GTX 1080 and costed the same as not a 1080 Ti, and costed the same price as a 1080 Ti. The only thing that the 2080 has over the 1080 Ti is their scuffed ray tracing support. They're just blind and short-sighted, yeah. The RTX 20 series was very bad value because the only thing they had over the 10 series was they had some ray tracing support. Are they back again? I thought I just banned them. Oh, god damn it. Remove. And use it from this channel. Okay, I banned them. I wonder how long until they get to restream, so I have to ban them there. But people comparing the current price to the 30 series, they forgot about 20, yeah. Also, massive inflation. Yep. There's so many bot accounts. They need to do something to block those things. But yeah, like, that's the thing. That's the thing. They're not really looking at the whole picture. The 1080 Ti, it was no, it wasn't even 700. It was like $650 at launch, wasn't it? And the 2080, it's just as fast as the 1080 Ti, but it costs the same or a little bit more. The 2080. Like, of course people are gonna be like clowning on it. And that's what they did. The 30 series, they just replaced the 20 series pricing with the same tier card there. But here's the problem with the 40 series. They literally put like a tiny ass GPU. You have the massive performance difference between the 12GB 4080 and the 16GB 4080. Right? There was like a 30% performance difference at least. And they're like, yeah, you're gonna pay $900 for it. Like, that's just bullshit. And especially because it is a different chip. It isn't even the same chip. It's a different chip. that's significantly weaker. And they canceled it. Yeah, of course, they canceled it. Because everyone was clowning on it. But here's the other thing as well. If the 20 series never happened, the RTX 4090 wouldn't be $1,600. Yeah. You're waiting for the announcements to reduce price, yeah. Honestly, like even the 4090 is too expensive. It's way too expensive for what they're giving. Like, it is. It's way too much. Especially when you consider the absurd power draw. It's way too much what they're asking. Because it's not even a professional grade card. They don't have the special drivers that they give to professionals only. Because, like, you're not going to be able to just, you know, shard off the GPU if you want for virtualization. You want to do that, go pay $20,000 for the Tesla variant or whatever. That's probably what Nvidia's going to be like. Oh yeah, you want this 4090. You want to use it for virtualization and shard off your resources to split it up between like 2 or 3 VMs with one card? Don't worry. You just have to pay, you know, go buy the $20,000 version. You know, go buy our $20,000 Tesla version of the card so you can use it for virtualization like that. Because like they don't, like, they ask for that much, but they don't even include features that like people who would use it professionally might want. Like, you have weird shit like that. Oh, great. I don't like the looks of this. I saw that person holding a king weapon, that person there. And I don't think this is gonna look good. I mean, in terms of previous 3090 launch price, it isn't so bad. Well, of course, because they were asking for an absurd amount for it. They didn't even count it as a Titan card. Here's the thing. You had some pro driver support with the Titan class cards. You didn't get any of that with the 3090 or the 3090 Ti. They were asking for more expensive than a Titan card, and you didn't get a Titan card. You got a 3090. That's my problem there too. It has more performance, but it doesn't have the feature set I would expect. It doesn't. Yes, it has the new encoder, which is great, but it's just a regular GTX card at the end of the day. It's not like the Titan cards, which did have special drivers. You probably didn't know this, but the GTX Titan, the GTX Titan X, the GTX Titan X Pascal, and then the Titan XP, they all had special drivers exclusive to them. Same thing with the Titan Volta and the Titan RTX. They had special drivers. Not the consumer drivers, they had the professional drivers that you would have on the more expensive cards. But they didn't give those features for the regular cards. For the 3090 and the 3090 Ti. They're just the regular gaming drivers. No, it's not regular gaming drivers boosted. It's just a regular gaming card, period. Like it... And also, if they said Moral's Law was really dead, then we wouldn't have the 4090 be as fast as it is. Again, it's just bullshit there. Like, it is bullshit there. I'm out. Because they're useless. I'm leaving them because they're not doing anything. I'm not gonna hard carry them if they're not gonna do anything. If they don't do something, I'm leaving. I'm not even looking at their damage. They have to do something. If they want to clear it, they have to at least do something. If they're doing nothing, I'm not staying. I just tell them they're useless. And then I just leave. I don't even care if they're gonna say that, make the free-to-play argument, yeah. Let's see what we get in this group. But yeah, like, that's just the thing there. Right, they're asking for that much money, but they're not even giving the feature set for the money. Like, yeah, the one thing that the Titan cards did not have was sharding for virtualization either. But they did have they did have the same drivers as the Quadro cards as an option. You could use the Quadro drivers on there. And because of that as well, you had people using Quadros with GTX drivers for gaming. Cause they just stand there and take the full combo, yeah. Don't even do anything. That is not an excuse for free to play, yeah. It is not. Again, this is why you basically need to make a proving ground type mode. At least force them to learn basic mechanics and do something. Zero Star Contribute can do Shatter. They don't even need Space-Time Relic. Shiro has the highest Shatter with her normal attacks. If you do this properly, she has the highest Shatter for normal attacks. Shiro has the highest normal attack Shatter with this. Like, that's the thing. You don't even need 0 star. The problem is she can't contribute every cycle on some bosses, yeah. You don't even need the hologram on Shiro to have her destroy shields. You only shatter every other time, yeah. A3 will let you shatter all the time. A3 fixes Shiro's problem. Let's see if they can actually shatter the thing. Someone's using confinement in here, which is something. Okay, they did something. Now I stay. Though that... Did I just see a king there? What the hell is that dumbass doing? Don't use king. He's useless here. King is just a DPS loss. Doesn't matter if you have A6 king. He's still a DPS loss. Like, I'd rather have them play 0 as their DPS than king. The fuck is this person doing? I'm like standing right here. Bruh. I'm like right in front of them. Cause the tank can't even hold aggro. So I'm still tanking. I'm stuck tanking regardless cause the tank can't even hold aggro. Even though, like, tanking mechanics is very easy in this game. Just do 1/8 of the damage of the highest DPS. You will have aggro. Like, it's very, very easy to do. God damn it. What the hell is this person doing? What the fuck is this person doing? No. If they're gonna be like that, I'm out. I'm out. If they're gonna be like that, I'm out. I don't get how they're so bad at tanking too. Someone had fortitude and they couldn't keep aggro. You just need to do 1/8 of my damage and you'll have aggro. That's not hard. The game gives you 8 times aggro. Right? It says it right here. Right here. Aggro by 800%. You just need to do 1/8 of my DPS. You will have aggro. If I'm doing 10 million, you only need to do 1.25 mil. If I'm doing 100 mil, you only need to do 12.5 mil. It's not hard. It's not hard to do that much. Like, it's not hard to do that much. Because the game literally multiplies your aggro by 8 when you're playing with Fortitude. And like, yeah, tanks are very important because you need them to hold aggro. It's not even meta. It's not even meta though. You realize what I'm saying. You don't even need to be doing half. You don't need to even be doing a quarter. You need to at least be doing an eighth. You need to just do it. I just saw another king. I saw another king there. I saw another king. And that person has at least a 3-star. I saw it. I know. Like, it's not really anything crazy we're talking about you need. Like, it really isn't. And if not, you can still do this. Like, that's still a thing you can do. Yeah, 0-star Shiro on space-time, yeah. It will be destroyed. I know. I know how Shiro works, I use Shiro. No, but like, yeah, King has less shatter than Samir here. Will they be able to keep aggro? Nope. Come on, it's not hard to be tank. It's not hard to take aggro away from me. How hard can it be to keep aggro? Like, come on. That's why you like Kuma. Kuma's shield breaking is straightforward, yeah. It's also just infinitely better than King's Shatter. It actually is. The problem is, Kuma is just not great for DPS players. That said, she does have tanking resonance. At least there's another Shiro user here who's actually gonna do something. That said, it's still really annoying that I'm stuck tanking and holding all the aggro here. What the hell is that person doing? Why are they doing that? Please, don't use King at all. There's absolutely no reason to use King here. We're talking about breaking that shield, that's the priority, yeah. And I don't get why this person was even bothering to use King here. Don't even use it for his discharge, it's awful here. His discharge is bad in single target. It's only okay in AoE. The amount of damage he does per discharge is abysmal. There we go. Microsoft acquires attempted by Activision fails. Eventually goes bankrupt. Why would they buy properties out of Ivory? I don't get it, but why? Why out of Ivory? Sounds like a weird way to spend your money. Please? What the fuck are these people doing? Um... Where's the tank even? What the hell's the tank doing? It's like, is there even a tank here? What the hell are these people doing? What the fuck, man? Why is that person using arms? Why is that person even using arms? What the hell? What the hell are they using the arms for? Ruby did Maggie tell me. Oh, we were just talking about how much Ruby's consumes from burn. We were just looking at the burns. The burn consumption interaction. It's nothing really special. Basically, like, we have Ruby's numbers. We got someone to do animation times. Like, she's not putting it in her sheet yet, though. But like Ruby's damage per on-field DPS is balanced, but yeah. It is what it is. But like the extra damage you can get from Ruby's burn consumption, it really isn't a lot. Unless you have A6 Cobalt. If you don't have A6 Cobalt, Nemesis's background damage will out DPS A5 Cobalt's burn and the burn consumption. That Moda mod had you considering Genshin for a sec. What? What Moda mod? Square Enix almost went bankrupt a few times. That's their own problem. Doesn't know. What Mona mod? I don't know any Mona mod. What? There was a Mona mod? What? It's a new thick-ass Mona mod. For what? The damage percent is the same as CN with no. No, they're a lot lower. Her damage percent is a lot lower than CN. Only her base skill damage is this. Actually, no, even that's lower. Like, all of Ruby's numbers on Global are lower. Like, they're so much lower that the base Ruby does less damage than base 0. Yeah, the meme weapon 0 has higher base damage than Ruby. Than base Ruby. 0! Like, goddamn 0. What are these people doing? Great, they can't even shield break. Stop making me tank everything. Honestly, the frog one might actually be easier than this. I have. I've hit 120 mil before. What do you want me to look at? Oh. Oh, I saw this like a year ago. Okay. Yeah. You see, this is why playing the official version of Genshin is the inferior version to play as well. You want to use the mod, you have to play on a private server. I think they might change that on actual release. Change what on actual release? Yeah, mods are fire, yeah? The hell are these guys doing? Oh, everyone died? These guys are fucking garbage. Baker viable at A0. Well, Ruby's damage is not great at A0. It's not. We have her multipliers without the time thing, but I already know what they are over time. And if you can look at them if you want. Let me just find Ruby. Damn it, let me just get them small enough. Yeah, here's the multipliers on Ruby. If you want the time duration, these are 4 seconds. The auto chain thing and like to do this much damage, it's 4 seconds. Yeah. So like the 642.7% multiplier on the full chain is over 4 seconds. You divide this by 4 and that's Ruby's DPS. At A1, you have to multiply it by the hot buff here. It's this times 1.8, and then at A6, it's a 2.6 multiplier. Hi, Vera Magus. Yeah, Ruby is going to be very balanced on global. She's going to be so balanced that her DPS is going to be lower than 0 at A0. That's how balanced she's going to be. Like, they basically made Ruby very balanced. At A6, she'll be slightly stronger than A6 Meryl and A6 Samir. But A6 Samir and A6 Meryl also have exclusive 4-set matrices. So then put them back on the same level and eventually stronger than Ruby again. at when really start up. So that's gonna happen. Ruby won't have a team. There won't be a fire team as well. There won't be a fire team with Ruby. The fire team requires A6 Cobalt on top of A6 Ruby. Otherwise, you're better off putting Ruby with Nemesis and Claudia. Or Ruby with Claudia and Tsubasa. And just not playing a fire team. Just playing a team that happens to have Ruby in it. Like, as weird as it sounds. You're in Spain with the S another week, using all your vitality and Samir join up and 0 Samir. Oof. There's not gonna be a fire team with a whole fire team for a while, because the current fire just sucks. you're basically gonna be like, how do I buff Ruby is going to be the team. How the hell do you skip? What the fuck? This person's like, I'm skipping how? How the hell is he gonna do the skip? I don't have the thing. I'll just wait for them to skip through it and and then I'll die there. As long as they trigger the cutscene, I can just die. There's a wall up there. I don't know how to get up the wall. I had issues trying to figure out a way up there. Okay, they did the cutscene. I can just die. Alright. There we go. God damn it! God damn it, the freaking bot is again. What if they made Saki only usable at A6? That'll be a pain. Wait, they can skip, but they don't know how to do anything? Why is their DPS so low? They may know how to skip, but do they know how to do damage? They may know how to skip, but they don't seem to be doing any damage. Thanks for the follow, Grim Moment. Damn it, like, how long is it gonna take for me to clear them? Yes, I know I banned them on YouTube, but like, they still show up there. Because their goddamn name, I don't know how to block them out there. Yeah. Come on, why did you come in here? I need the bots now, yeah. At this point, I have to get rid of the restream bot. Ah. At this point, I have to get rid of the restream bot. Like, I have to, like, remove the fucking restream bot. That's the only way. I have to ban the restream bot or disable the relay. Like, as cool as it is to have it relay messages, it relays the username as well like that. And because of that, the freaking bot spam stays. So I have, like, there's, like, nothing I can really do. Like, I wanted to relay the messages, but it keeps those in. And it doesn't really give me an option to just delete certain messages, does it? I don't know. Well, I can't do that right now. Why are these guys doing, like, negative damage? And why don't they just switch off King's weapon after they do the goddamn trick? Before starting the fight. Oh, that's just the sheet from Maggie. That's the sheet from Maggie without the animation times in it. That's just the sheet there. It's the regular sheet that we've always seen. She just listed all the abilities down in there. Because, like, the biggest factor isn't how much damage percent you're doing, but it's how much damage percent over time. Right? It's damage per DPS is damage per second. Some of it does. Some of it is on her server. Some of it. Yeah, you can find some of it on her server, yeah. But it really doesn't look like you'll have anything special going on there with a non A6 Ruby, and no fire without A6 Cobalt either. It'll just be Ruby, not a team, rather It's just a ruby. At this point, I'm not even... You know, at this point, I won't even DPS it properly. I'm just gonna run away and just shoot it. If this is how it's gonna play out, I won't even bother trying to play it properly. I'm just gonna run away. I won't even bother. If I'm just gonna have all the aggro like this, I'll shatter it and then I'll run away. I won't even play optimally. Because if this is just what's gonna happen... If I'm gonna keep the aggro, I might as well just do this. I'm just gonna do this. Yeah, Meryl Frank Subasa, what Matrix for the support. Yeah, just put whatever you have. Honestly, there really isn't anything yet. You're gonna want 4-piece Sake as your Matrix support. But just otherwise, if you don't have it, just put whatever you have. There kinda really isn't anything. Alright. Sure. But yeah, I need to do something on those goddamn spam bots. Right. That one's done. That one. But yeah. Like, you're just gonna need to wait for 4-piece Sake if you want a support set. There really aren't any support sets at the moment. 4-set Frigg works, but only for Frigg. So it's like, yeah. They mentioned different? It's the same one. It's based on the same leaks from him. On the test server, it's the test server they have for Vera right now is going to be what we get as the final version. Like, it's the final version already that we're gonna get from the test server. They match his leaks, just with the actual translations there. Lin for sure. Sake, I don't know, but Lin for sure. Lin for the utility. Sake, I have no idea.